And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we are talking about the struggle of the 80-hour work week. We're going to go to a comment from one of my good friends, Yuri. He's explaining to me how difficult it is to do the 80-hour work week, okay? And this is what he says. The problem is, I can't do my business properly when I'm working all these retarded jobs, and my work ethic gets so much worse because it's so much easier to work a job than your own business. So some background story for those that are new to my channel. The main thing that we're talking about on this channel is masculinity. And we're talking about work ethic. We're talking about 80-hour work week. We're talking about getting rid of addictions like prawn and practicing semen retention to replace that. We're talking about creating fantastic relationships, both with women, but also, creating families and having friends, having a network of men that you build huge businesses with in the future. We're talking about making you into an amazing man, okay? We want to get to the level of giving you the ultimate success, which is exponential joy, bliss, and happiness. That's what we're trying to create here. People think that I give you this difficult task of working 80 hours in jobs that you maybe don't like or that are just low wages and like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life type thing. You think I'm doing it just so that you can get some extra cash? No, we're trying to develop character. We're trying to give you certain specific traits that are conducive to building a business. We're building up your work ethic so that that is something that is ingrained with you that you will never ever leave behind. I don't want someone at the end of the journey of creating a business, so to speak, to end up like, some of the guys that I know who ended up just wasting all of that money away. That's one thing. Drinking it away, using drugs, and having horrible relationships, and just simply being miserable after having created a successful business. I was going to create a video called why successful people very often look miserable, and why they do drugs, and why they why they get divorces, and why they struggle with life in general when they're actually successful. Okay? They're famous and everyone looks up to them because they did one great thing amazingly, or multiple things amazingly, but everything else in their life is a mess. We're trying to build up your foundation so that you actually create exponential joy, bliss, and happiness, not only as a destination, because that's going to come, but that you get joy, bliss, and happiness on your journey starting today. That's what we're trying to create. The 80-hour work week takes care of that. Amazingly enough. You don't believe me, but that's what this video is for. So let's go back to Yuri to explain now a little bit more about why. Why do I stress the 80-hour work week so much? First of all, let's go through the first sentence. He's trying to build a business, okay? And he actually is building a YouTube channel, so go help him out, subscribe to his channel, shout out. But what he's struggling with is that he has these jobs that are taking away his time from his business. Wouldn't it be better for him to just build his business rather than spending time at these retarded jobs that won't give him the life satisfaction that he desires? Well, first of all, going back to what I said, we need to develop the work ethic. That's one thing. Because most of us, we go through life being raised with parents who are both working. So there's, we're middle class, so there's quite a lot of abundance, or at least enough abundance, way more abundance than what we've had for generations since the earth began, right? We're like probably the most abundant generation. Most of that wealth is fake because it's fake money we're using. But at the same time, we've lived quite comfortably, right? So when you grow up as a teenager, you're living luxuriously in many ways, so you don't have to work. You really think that 12, 14, 16-year-olds didn't have to work in the old days? Give me a break. Everyone started even earlier than that. Work was a part of who everyone was. And that's not the case today. We're going to return to that type of kind of time in the future once there's hyperinflation in a lot of countries, because the dollar kind of, goes forward with the example of following Venezuela and Lebanon and all those interesting countries that have had hyperinflation. Once that happens, everyone will begin to develop a massive work ethic. Now, wouldn't it be better for you to actually be in advance of that and actually had a massive work ethic because you created it voluntarily in advance, okay? Working something that maybe is more comfortable doing than what those people are going to be doing in the future. Okay. Do you get what I'm saying? We've lived so comfortably, and that has made us weak. Work ethic is what made men strong in the past. And we need to build up not only your physicality, which is what a lot of guys are focusing on these days because that gets the girls. Who cares about the girls? Obviously, the girls are an important aspect of creating a family in the future, right? But we need to develop your mindset first. That's more important than the short term. We're creating the long-term picture. So when a guy comes to me and says that I want to work on my business rather than having a job or 3 jobs and working 80 hours there. Like, what if I can do 80 hours on my business? I'd be more successful in my business faster. Except for the fact that if you never do the 80 hours in those jobs, you'll never do the 80 hours in your business. Right? Now, some guys might say, oh, I'll prove you wrong and I'll do 80 hours on my business and I'll succeed. Fantastic if you can do that, okay? But 99% of the people who start beginning directly on their businesses without having developed the proper work ethic and mental attitude and fortitude, and that perseverance that comes from doing something that you hate doing, but you just got to get done because there's goals that needs to be achieved, okay? If you haven't developed that, business for you is going to be something that you try to do, but you're not really doing it. Okay? It's kind of like, it's going to feel like a lot of work, but you're not going to be working. How do I know? I've been there. Okay? Building a business, but the majority of the time you're just sitting on your ass thinking and strategizing and planning and not doing anything. You might do like a few phone calls, like 3 phone calls a day or something, if you're lucky. But the majority of the time, you're going to massively procrastinate. You're going to watch porn. You're going to masturbate. You're going to sit in your room. Maybe you have a business partner, but he's going to lure you and like, bro, like, let's just go and do something else, man. I need to juice up my creativity. Let's go to the strip club. Or whatever it is, that random, stupid things that entrepreneurs do while they're trying to build their business. And they party, and they spend time with girls, and they like come with... This is ridiculous, okay? I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, okay? Maybe you're like a ballistic missile that wants to focus 12 hours a day on your business. But the majority of the time, most of you are not going to do that if you choose to build on your business immediately without having developed the work ethic from the 80-hour work week over an extended period of time. That mental attitude that comes from being positive, despite the hell that you're going through, that's what's going to create the heaven for you forever. Right? You're a diamond in the rough, which means that you've got to go through the fiery furnace. We're going to chip at you, okay, in order for you to become that perfect, amazing gem that the world needs in the future. They need you to be excellent. We need you. But in order for you to actually accomplish that, you have to go through the hard stuff first. People think that, oh, when I go through the hard stuff in my business, that's what's going to make me amazing. No, in many ways it won't, because you'll quit. Why? Because you think that your product or service maybe isn't something that the market wants. No, it was just that you didn't try enough. It's kind of like someone who goes and asks for jobs, right? And he's like applying for like 1 or 2 jobs a week. And then he comes to me and he says, bro, like, I can't find a job, man. I've been really trying hard. That is an example of an entrepreneur. Someone who tries to build a business is just the same way as someone who's unemployed trying to get a job. He'll like apply a little bit here and there and then he'll wonder why it's not working. Okay? No. It's you who's not working. Okay? What do you do when you're unemployed trying to get a job? You apply for 100 jobs every single day if you're unemployed. 100 jobs every single day. Applications. That's right. Okay? Eventually, you're going to get those jobs pretty quickly. Right? If you have that mindset and you're able to do that over 5-year time, like over an extended period of time, maybe you're ready for a business right away, right now. Get started. Build 11 and a half hours, 12 hours every single day. You're just on your grind continuously. If you're that type of person, then you're already arrived, okay? From a character perspective, all of the trials and tribulations in your life have come to pass for you to actually be ready to build a business right now. Most of you guys are not in that position. Most of you guys are just like watching this video on YouTube of me yelling at you, you know, and like wondering, you know, when will the change happen? I'm watching these videos and trying to progress by osmosis from the things that Joseph is telling me, you know, but I'm not really doing the work yet, okay? You're not ready to start a business. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you should, your product and your service deserves more than that. Your customers deserve more than that. You gotta learn how to be accountable first to bosses. Because if you lose a job, who cares? But if you lose a business that actually could have made millions of dollars, I'm not saying every business that you're going to create is going to do that, because probably a lot of them are going to flop, okay? But what if you had an amazing business idea and the only reason, like you thought that it was the product or service that didn't work, or the market wasn't ready for it and they didn't want it, and so, you know, I might as well try something else. And then you try another business next 6 months. And then you try another business next 6 months. And then you try another business for the next 6 months. And then you quit. And it's like, maybe I wasn't cut out for this entrepreneurship stuff. I'll just go back to a 40-hour work week or welfare and do my best there. And then you give up on life. That's what happens. While one of those businesses might have been a genius idea that could have taken the world by complete storm, but you weren't ready for it. The idea was there, it was genius, but you sucked. That came as a result of you not doing the 80-hour work week and not going through the audition for entrepreneurship. The 80-hour work week, going through those three jobs continuously every single day. Alarm clock. You know, you wake up and you got to be there awake, you know, for 12 hours. And then you got to run from one job to the next. And then you got to and you do that every single day. And you never get a break. And like, oh, Sunday? No, I guess I don't have a free day a week. Oh, I got to keep going. That is going to give you the right attitude. Because once you're able to build a business on the side while you have 3 jobs, you're a ballistic missile. You're part of the 0.1% already. No one does this, okay? I'm basically, a few of you guys are going to listen to what I'm saying and actually do it. And you're going to be revolutionized by how easy success is once you've figured out all of the, stripped it of all the fluff and all of this distractions that life has to offer, and just simply go. Just go. You simply need a few months' time where you're developing your mental capacity and attitude independent of circumstances. You have to go through hell to get to heaven. You have to. And to be honest with you, building a business is kind of chill. In the beginning, no one is calling you. In the beginning, you have to do the sales calls. In the beginning, you have to reach out to people. In the beginning, you have to reach out to 100, etc., etc. I've seen this again and again and again. Guys in their 20s don't get what it takes to build a business. Very few actually manage to do it, and it's very often the ugly guys, because they've gone through the pain of being ignored by women all of their lives. So they're like, they don't have anything else in their brain going on except, I want to become one of the richest people in the world. That's how you get the Warren Buffetts. That's how you get the Jeff Bezos. That's just how you get Bill Gates. That's how you get all of the richest guys in the world, because they sucked with girls in high school. Okay? So if you're If you're part of that group, congratulations. You probably have the mindset of a successful man. Okay? And if you don't, it's just simply because you never developed enough sexual desire. Okay? That's really what's necessary. You have to have this drive. Okay? But if you've wasted it away by watching porn, which a lot of these old guys that are rich these days didn't do, by the way, because that didn't exist back then, you're in a very difficult situation. But if you have massive sexual desire that you keep pent up, okay, because you're practicing semen retention, it's a different story, okay? We're creating a different story for you by giving you the 80-hour work week, the 3 jobs. Just do that for a period of time. We're talking maybe 3 months if you're amazing at building your business on the sides of those 3 jobs. Because you just need the exit strategy, and you just for 3 months, you're going to build some cushion, cash cushion, and you're going to have that business on the side, and suddenly that business is actually doing well, and it's replacing one job at it with any job. Or that process could take you 2 years. Or that process could take you 6 months. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It'll be faster if you use a coach, for sure, okay? DM me at Men of High Value. But if you don't have a coach, it's going to take you quite some time. Maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. Who cares? Once you're out of those jobs, you're out of those jobs forever. You've built up the mindset. You've built up the attitude. You've built up the work ethic so that you never, ever need a job ever again in your entire life. Wouldn't that be amazing? And you're not willing to spend the few months necessary to develop that precious attitude and work ethic that you're going to get from that right now. And not have a job for the next. Do that. Okay? Get that mindset right. He continues, additionally, my stress levels are through the roof, which is very bad. I think having your stress levels go through the roof because of your jobs, that's fantastic. That's awesome. Okay? Why? Building a successful business will produce a lot of stress if you're doing it right. Okay? You want it to get out of control. What happens when your business gets out of control? Money's coming from all directions. You're like, damn, I didn't know that I could actually do this. And then, you begin see things beginning to decline, and you're just like, oh no, what happened to my business? Which is going to happen to everyone's business. You're going to have something that works, and then it stops working because it's no longer interesting for the public, or you stop doing the things that got you there in the first place. The 80-hour work week, having done that before you start your business, solves that problem. You're building up a foundation so that all of the problems that will happen in your future business has already been taken care of because you figured it out in advance of starting that business. You won't be distracted by errands that your mom wants you to do, your parents, your religion, your friends, your girlfriend. Whatever it is that's distracting you right now, because I'm just procrastinating all the time and I'm sitting at home eating my chips. Like, bro, it's time for you to get out that door and don't come home, okay? Like, leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, and come back at 9 o'clock exhausted. You'll also, this is one of the huge benefits, you will be healed from porn completely. If you do the 80 hours, 3 jobs. I have a client who doesn't believe me till this day. He never wanted to do the 80-hour work week. He managed to do it for a week or 2, and he found another way yeah, I'm not even gonna. The whole point is he didn't do it, okay? But he believes he's found another way that has actually solved his problem, and I'm like, you didn't try it. That would have healed it, but it would also set everything else up in your life for you to get that billionaire mindset. Okay? So, I'm working with him. He's probably watching my videos. Come on, you can do it. But what I'm trying to say to you guys is that you solve so many problems with the 80-hour work week. I'm so fired up about it. That's one of the things that I love the most about life. Work. Service to other people. You want to have exponential joy, bliss, and happiness? It comes from service. It comes from actually making other people feel important so that they can help you feel important, right? You're not gonna be important or feel important if other people don't feel that you're important, okay? And especially your inner circle. The more you work, okay, in your early years, the better, because you're developing the attitude and the habit of this is what I do. I'm a CEO already right now. I have a CEO schedule already right now. I'm 18 years old. I have a CEO schedule. What? Why do you have a CEO schedule when you're 18 years old? Because you're adopting the attitude of what's going to happen 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. You are the founder of your business. You need to have a CEO schedule. So if you build that up from the get-go, it'll be automatic once you have it. Anyway, the stress levels is basically, it's good because you want to be there and adapt to having intense stress levels and become comfortable and normalized in that situation so that the stress levels actually decrease on their own because your body naturally adapts to the environment. Stress is fantastic if you're actually able to figure it out. You might need to fix your nutrition. You might need to get proper exercise. You might need to get better sleep. You just need to get rid of all other distractions for a period of time. Fantastic. If you had started a business right now, that wouldn't have happened. You would have kept your distractions. I have another client who's basically working as a delivery guy. He's not doing the 80-hour work week yet. He's been on it for about a year. I've been trying for a year to try to help him to get on the 80-hour work week. It's taken a flippin' year. And I told him, like, bro, if you had actually started your job and saved that amount of money and invested in Bitcoin at that time, you would have right now had approximately, and I told him it was like a ridiculously high number. And he was like, how is that possible? If you had done this, this, and this and actually listened to me during that process, you would have had that amount of money. And he's like, bro, that's insane. Okay, I'm going to start working now. His problem is that being a delivery guy where you choose your shifts is kind of like you're already an entrepreneur. And so what's happening to him would probably happen to you if you don't do the 80-hour work week with proper jobs with bosses. That's what I'd recommend, because then you have accountability. When you have a delivery guy type of job, you choose your hours, which means that you're not going to choose 80 hours because you don't have to. It's kind of like college. You don't have to go to class, so you kind of don't go to class. I mean, what's the point? You know, when you can learn it the other ways. The problem is that you don't make that much money if you don't do the 80-hour work week. You know, if you don't have a boss telling you that you're going to get fired if you don't come on time, then you're probably not going to come on time. If you had to go to work. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like he's not there yet at the 80 hours because he's got an entrepreneur kind type of business, freelance business, where he chooses himself how much he works. That is kind of a problem. So, but it's better than no job if that's the only one available to you. But anyway, I wanted to quit all my jobs end of summer, but I don't know if I can wait this long. What does that tell you? It's impatience. What is impatience? It's feminine. Patience is masculine. Okay? Being comfortable with the situation right now because I understand the long term, it's going to give me everything in life that I desire. Impatience. Warren Buffett said the market is a device to transfer money from those that are impatient to those that are patient. Okay? Patience is that important. It solves all of your problems, and that's what you're developing with the 80-hour work week. He needs to develop more patience. It's such a waste of time. And that's when I told him, keep the jobs until your positive can-do attitude goes through the roof. You're not there yet. Most of you guys aren't there yet. And it's going to take some time, and that's okay. Once you have 80-hour work week, you're fired up outside your brain every single day because of your exit strategy. Your business is running, okay? And you're beginning to get a little bit of money. You got your first $100 or $200 or whatever it is, and you're just like, it's actually consistent now. It's coming in next month, and it's coming in the following month, and it's more than what you get in your third job. What are you going to do? Quit that third job and invest that extra time in that business. I've said this again and again and again on this channel. That's how I want you to think about it. It is such a huge thing. Oh. Yeah. Last thing, I just wanted to combine the two aspects of SR and the 80-hour work week. Because you have catch-22. Maybe I should make this into an own video. Yeah, I'll just say it briefly and then I'll make another video on it. But you have the catch-22 of the 80-hour work week and SR, semen retention. I say that if you do the 80-hour work week, then you'll actually automatically master semen retention, because that's what happens. You don't have time or energy, and you don't even want to watch prawn when you're actually on your grind like that. You won't. And then you have the aspect of, I don't want the 80-hour work week because I'm not hungry enough for success, which basically means that you're constantly watching porn and ejaculating. So there's a catch-22. You're not going to start the 80-hour work week before you stop masturbating and watching porn. And you're not going to stop watching porn and masturbating before you actually do the 80-hour work week. Catch-22. Which one do we do? How do we do this? So you have to, in your brain, understand that I have to do the 80-hour work week. And I hope that my channel is doing its job in persuading you to do that. It's going to change your life. It's not for the money. It's for you getting the right mindset that will give you everything in life that you desire. And most importantly, ultimate success, which is true joy, bliss, and happiness. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for watching. And let's see. Yes. How long? 3 jobs. How many months? That depends on you. That depends on your circumstance. Or what can I say? If you do the 80-hour work week, you want to develop a cushion of cash. That's great. But it's not for the cash that we're doing it. We're developing it so that you have the correct mental attitude and perseverance and patience. So it basically means that once you have the mental attitude that I'm fired up outside my brain every single day, and that shines through you at all of your jobs, and you've developed a business on the side of those 3 jobs that actually begins to develop cash flow to quit one of those jobs, that's when you can quit one of those jobs. That makes sense? Like, so it's the attitude that's the most important. Do you have the correct attitude so that no matter what, if you start a business, you'll never, ever, ever, ever quit? Because if you never, ever, ever quit, your success in that business is 100% predictable. You might have an inferior product or service, but you're still going to make money on it. Okay? The key is to finding an amazing product or service that you believe in and that other people will eventually believe in. That becomes massive. Okay? But what if you have that type of business, but then you don't have the mental attitude and perseverance to actually do it and follow through with it? So that's what I'd say is the correct way to go about it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. I'll see you in the next one.